Welcome to a special edition of Lytle Media Live. I'm Dan Ramey, and in studio with us today we have representatives from the Huntington Pickaway Ross CTC FFA, and they're here to talk about the Huntington Breakfast coming up on February 20th. We'll meet who these kids are and tell you more about the breakfast coming up right after this from Classic Brands. Huntington Pickaway Ross CTC and their Future Farmers of America. We have three who are currently doing farming in some respect. We have with us to my immediate left, we have Roni Lytle. She is the treasurer of the FFA. We have Blake Houswirth, with a number of you know Blake from seeing him on previous Lytle Media productions. He's the vice president, and at the far end, President Brayden Houswirth. Good to have you guys here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First things first, you're here to talk about the breakfast. So we'll touch on the breakfast right out of the gate here. We have had other kids from other programs on, but you do not make your own product like the sausage and everything, right?
No.
You purchase those items, but you do serve it and you cook it.
Yeah. We'll start the breakfast about 5:30 in the morning, and we'll go to 8:30. We'll have biscuits and gravy, bacon, sausage, and pancakes for everybody to have. We'll be there from 5:30 to 8:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. And as a high school kid, who wants to be up at 5:30 to do something like this, right?
Nope.
But you're also farm kids, so you understand the value of getting up early.
Yes.
Yeah. When does your day usually start, Brayden?
I try to start it as late as possible, but usually start around 6:30 to 7.
Mm-hmm. And is it the same for the rest of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, Roni is an athlete, so she knows what it's like to be that disciplined and make sure you get enough rest, but you want to be ready to go, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Talk about the positions that you have with the FFA.
I'm the president. I was like, my term's almost up. The next couple weeks, I think, is the end of my term, and then we'll do next officer elections. I haven't done a whole lot, but I show up to everything. I'm always there.
Being present as president is half the job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I have to make all the meetings.
Mm-hmm. And that's a position you've held for a couple of years, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I snaked it out from underneath of them.
Yeah. I'm vice president. In charge of our career ag fair that's on April 25th this year. We have a bunch of presenters coming in and talking about their careers in ag. That's what I mostly have been in charge of, and then I'm also in charge of the breakfast in the morning and getting everybody there, getting the grills and stuff organized, and getting the food ready.
So if somebody's late, you're the one they have to answer to.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And what about yours, Roni?
So I'm the treasurer, and I just keep track of the money and stuff. And then I just help with basically anything they need help with.
Yeah, yeah. Now, senior, and junior.
Yeah.
Okay. We had talked before we started the program here about what these kids want to do in the future. We'll get to that in just a moment. But I want to go back to the breakfast, because there is a good purpose for this breakfast. Not only is it giving you an opportunity to see what agriculture means to our community and to our everyday lives, but you've got a little fellow named Ricky that's a part of this proceeds. Who wants to talk about Ricky?
I will. So Ricky was in October. He found out that he's going to need a new heart. So he's been up at the hospital for a little over 6 months now. And we wanted to give something to help with the bills and the hospital expenses, because everybody knows that's expensive. So the profits for our breakfast will go to Ricky's Rebel process, and we'll give everything to them for their hospital expenses.
Yeah, very nice. Nationwide Children's Hospital, I believe, is where Ricky is. Ricky is 17 months old, and I can't imagine needing a heart transplant at any age, but as a little kid, that's a tearjerker right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tugs at your heartstrings. You have to feel good that you're doing something good like this, Roni.
Yeah. It feels great to do stuff like this because you're giving back to your community, and that's a big thing that we do in FFA.
Yeah. So for the future, what you guys want to do? I know, Blake, you and I were talking, you've already settled in with Ohio State, and now this isn't in Columbus. You're going to be a little further north.
Yeah, Worcester, ATI up there for at least the first year.
Yeah, and that's a nice country up there.
Yeah.
It's also flat. I hope you're ready for the wind. It's different than the Huntington Hills.
Yeah.
What sort of things will you be doing there?
I'm going to go for a degree in ag systems management, so I'll be working with the farmers after that. It's a 4-year degree, so usually it's 2 years up at ATI, and then you'll go down to the main campus in Columbus.
Mm-hmm. And Brayden, you, of course, have also being a senior, you've got some plans ahead.
Yeah, I plan on going to Ohio Northern for civil engineering.
And when you talk civil engineering, give the folks an idea of what you'll be dealing with.
Bridges, concrete, any infrastructure, really.
Mm-hmm. So you could become a county engineer at some point in time.
A lot of certification, yeah.
Yeah. Is that something that you might want to do?
I'd be pretty interested in that.
Okay. I think by the time that you get, maybe engineer Ortman might be ready to step aside. I don't know.
Ortman will be pretty old by then.
Quite possibly. We're not pushing you out of the position, Charlie. There's always looking over your shoulder. There's somebody on the way. But you need to have a successor, right, at some point in time to make sure that our roads are ready to go, and may have you on a snowplow at some point in time. Roni, being a junior, you've got plenty of time to think about what you want to do, right?
Yeah, I have quite a bit of time. Not much, but I still have time. I plan on going to school for ultrasound tech, and then also later on I want to start a goat business to sell goats to 4-H and FFA kids to take to the fair.
And that's something you're close to, right?
Yeah. So I take goats to the fair. I get a market goat around April, May, and I raise it until the fair, and then it gets sold.
So let me ask you, because I know a lot of kids, they learn to adapt to what the FFA and the 4-H is all about. When you go to the fair, you bring that animal that you've raised, and then there's the parting of ways as well when the sale comes along. How tough is that?
That's always very hard. My first year, I didn't think it was as hard, but as I've gotten older, you get more attached to the animal. So it's definitely hard to let them go after you put all your hard work in, and then you just have to let it go and start over the next year.
And Blake, I got to ask you, because I've seen you show cattle and things. You certainly, at some point in time, get used to seeing the dollars involved as opposed to that. I mean, you have the attachment to the animal, but there's probably an animal or two that you've been happy to see go.
Yeah, there probably has. Yeah. There's also been ones I've been sad to see go. Yeah, because with cattle, you'll have, a lot of them you'll have almost 2 years. Because you'll start, like we raise most of ours that we show, and you'll have them from the day they were born until that next year at the fair. So you'll almost have them 2 years. So it's hard to see some of them go.
Yeah, and it's hard not to get attached to them. Yeah, I recall when I was younger, my father-in-law had cattle, and so I got to go out and feed and do all that work and breaking the ice for the water and all that stuff. And there's a moment where you do kind of get attached to them. Some of them are stubborn. They're just like kids, and older folks too. they get to be a little stubborn. But and Brayden, having 7 of your own that you have to deal with, have you done the same thing at the fair?
I only sell one at the fair, but it's a lot easier to wipe those tears away with a nice check.
Yeah, just don't let the print run, right? But you've got a lot of ribbons and stuff, I'm sure, and trophies and everything too. So a lot of hard work put into those. The breakfast, again, is coming up on February 20th. If someone wants to, if you're not selling tickets in advance or anything like that? Or?
You can pre-order on Facebook, can't you, Blake?
Yeah, there's going to be a Google form, and you can select what you want, the time you want to come and get it. I think it's 5:30, you can come and get it, 6. Every 30 minutes, you'll be able to come and get it. And you can write what you want and what you don't want. And then you can say, and then I don't think you can't pay for it. You got to pay for it when you get there.
Right. Will you have delivery service in any way?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so come get it. They'll ring the triangle just like they did on the old westerns.
It's going to be in the cafeteria. So if you've never been to Huntington, when you come into Huntington, where the bus parking is, there's going to be a student parking lot in there. We would like you to park there, and then come through where the superintendent's office is, and then walk up to the lunchroom.
Okay, and it's a bit of a hike because the cafeteria is like right in the middle of the complex, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like on the back side of the elementary.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
There'll be signs out to show you where to go.
Do you have any FFA projects after what's ahead here?
We'll be reading to the same week. We'll be reading to the elementary kids book. Then we'll have a strawberry project to the elementary kids too. And then for our high school students, we'll have drive your tractor to school day.
Which is always big.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. What do you drive?
I got an Oliver 1950.
I got a John Deere 5075.
I'm not really sure what one it is. I just know it's a red tractor, but it's
Is that the
just my
same thing you
dad's,
said
so-
last year?
Yeah,
Is that could be International Harvester
I think
or
it's a Massey.
or a Massey?
probably a
Massey.
Massey.
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
a Massey.
Okay, little Massey Ferguson action there.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, you have done a great job of utilizing the backside of Huntington's campus area for your FFA projects. Explain for people who have never been back there, it's almost like a small community.
So on our back side of our, if you walk out of our high school gym in the back side, you'll see a house and a building. The house is where our classrooms are right now, and then the building is where we do all of our FFA activities and like welding and that kind of stuff and shop work. And then to the left is pig pens with, I think we have 7 out there right now. Then we have some chickens right beside the pigs and rabbits beside the pigs. And then they're in the process right now of getting us a greenhouse put up. They're almost there. I think that all they got to do is hang the plastic now.
I know when I've dropped off Miss Amelia for school, there's always some activity back behind the school there, and a number of tomatoes being grown.
Yes.
and different crops and things of that sort too. Is that all FFA or is
Yes,
that?
that is mostly our middle school FFA, Mr. Fogelsong, and them handle more of the produce and that kind of stuff, and the chickens and the eggs.
Yeah. So the learning continues. There's no question there.
Yes.
Pickaway Ross Career and Technology Center is a part of your Huntington FFA. What's that relationship like? Because I know when I've been out to your ag days that you've had, there's been kids everywhere, and it seems like Pickaway Ross is just as active with all the FFAs.
Pickaway Ross is actually the one that took the house and made it into the classrooms for us this year. They're our sponsor, so they endorse us through the FFA so we can have FFA out in Huntington.
Very good. Now, Ronnie, you'll be a part of all this next fall. Will you be helping to run the Ag Day thing that takes
I will be
place?
hoping so.
Yeah. How many schools are involved with the Ag Day?
This year we've added some more schools. We got 4 schools right now involved.
Okay. And a number of different exhibitors who are there.
Yeah.
One of the most impressive, of course, I fly a drone, but the one that really captured my eye was the drone that they use. This drone is like 60 times bigger than my drone and almost about the size of our table that we have here.
Yeah, it was a big drone. It's actually Sean and Cade McKee that bring that drone out, and it's an ag drone, and they use it to spray like the crop fields and things like that.
But there's stuff that is interesting, I think, for every kid. You had different science exhibits where they were doing lab work and things going on. You had horses, you had cattle, you had just about everything.
Yeah, we did. We tried to get something for everybody to enjoy that day and to not be bored out there, and something that they look forward to, and maybe that they would like to do when they get out of high school and out of college for their career.
And the folks at Hirsch Fruit Farm, where this has been held the last couple of years, they have that slide now where you can go and enjoy the slide. Did you guys do the slide this year?
No, we did not.
Didn't?
No. Actually, this year it's going to be held out at the Ross County Fairgrounds since we've grown this year.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So no slide.
No slide.
Sorry to hear that, but
Yeah.
I have seen the slide because we drive by Hirsch's every day, and I'll see the snow that's on there, and the little kid in me wants to go and jump on that slide.
They enjoy the slide when it is there.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Kids, thank you for what you're doing, and our thoughts are certainly with the Ricky's family and all the needs that is being done there as well. Again, February 20th for the Huntington FFA Breakfast. If you want to participate in that, learn more on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Roni, Blake, and Brayden, I'm Dan. We'll see you soon on another edition of Lytle Media Live.